And we're back. Um, so we're live again for day 2 of the journey to a million. Thank you to everyone who watched the first video. I appreciate it. Um, give it a second here to make sure all the things are happening in the ways that they should. All right, so I want to talk to you about Dayrol. Naturally, I feel like it's going to revolutionize the way that people manage their money, and so this live session, day 2, is for anyone who wants to gain control over their finances and simplify their budgeting process. It's fine until people start actually tuning in. But here I am. I'm Temani, and here I am again doing this scared. I'm excited to welcome you to today's live session. We're going to take a deep dive into the world of Dayrol, and I'm specifically talking to people who might be overwhelmed or stressed in kind of managing their day-to-day finances, who might have a system that's not quite working for them, who might be just blowing through their paycheck, like have no idea where the money's going, have no idea how you've been tracking your expenses. People who might be out there doing some emotional spending. Yeah, that's a real thing. So you're sad, you're buying stuff, it ain't in the budget. I see you, I recognize you. Um, it might be for people who are having a challenging time kind of managing complex spreadsheets. Like if you're not the most tech savvy person and you get a spreadsheet and you're afraid to like even use it because the formulas might, you might enter something to a field and the whole entire formula just crashes the whole spreadsheet. Like I understand. So again, we're going to take a deep dive into Dayrol and talk about why I feel like it's such a game changer for the realm of personal finance. So give you a little snippet of the story behind Dayrol. I kind of talked about this yesterday, and there's going to be so much more. And this is also why I'm calling it a small snippet. But I used to be a teacher, right? That was my first job. I mean, that was my first big girl job. My first job was actually McDonald's. I worked at McDonald's, and I was making $5.15 an hour, like baller baby. Couldn't tell me anything as a what 15, 16 year old. But my first big girl job after college was a teacher. And distinctly remember my first salary being, I want to say like $36,000. $36,000. And if you're not a mather, $36,000 breaks down to a gross of $3,000 a month. Gross now. That's before taxes. That's before any of your benefits or anything like that kicks in. My my net was probably around $2,100 every month, not twice a month, once a month. And I mean, I was working so hard as a teacher, but single mom, teacher. Dallas was a whole human who had to be fed, clothed, kept in activities to keep him busy, and so I started budgeting. I started budgeting first on paper. I was like, listen, I gotta know who I gotta pay, when I need to pay them. I need to know where this $2,100 was going every single time it dropped into my account. And so I budgeted on paper. From there, paper wasn't the most user-friendly method for my personal lifestyle. It works for millions of people, and shout out to you all for maintaining the paper budgeting systems. It just doesn't work for me because of my on the go lifestyle, my children, my like it just does not work for me. And so I moved to a spreadsheet that I originally created. Like I tried to find spreadsheets. I was like, this works for if I'm paid weekly. This works if I'm paid monthly. This works if I'm paid bi-weekly. But I couldn't find anything that worked for exactly my needs. And so I ended up creating my own spreadsheet. Um, I created it. I configured all the formulas. I mean, I set it up where it was exactly what I needed to be successful in my own budgeting and my own finances, and to see exactly what I needed to see. The pain point in my spreadsheet, though, was that there was a lot of manual work associated with it. There was like copying and pasting the same expenses that recurred every single month. There was a lot of like making sure that all of my bills were copied and pasted, and I could change the amounts, and if I missed one, it threw off the budget. Like it was just a very tedious manual labor to maintain the spreadsheet. And so I knew that there had to be something better. I knew that there had to be a better way to manage money in a user-friendly way. And so I wanted to create a solution for it in a way that allowed people to take control of their finances without having to consider the mental load of the complexities that are just living. Like, you should just be able to exist and create a plan, exist within that plan, and disregard the fact of like the possibility of making a change and it breaking your entire system. And so I created Dayrol, and Dayrol has a number of features that I'm excited to tell you about. And later on, I'm going to give you kind of the links to subscribe to different places where we'll be doing more visuals to support some of the things that I want to talk about. But in terms of features itself, so what makes Dayrol super special is the user-centric approach. So I created Dayrol in support of people who don't necessarily align with doing things on paper, are tech savvy and use their phones on a frequent basis. And I mean, it just is what we typically, how we roll in this century. So it focuses on simplicity and ease of use. It makes it accessible to all individuals, no matter like what your financial literacy level might be, no matter what your background might be, no matter how often you're paid, no matter what your pay might be. I always say it doesn't matter if you are if you have 3 figures or 8 figures, like, you need a budget. There are billion-dollar companies that every company runs off of a budget. So if companies as large as Apple or Google run off budgets, like, we should all kind of maintain some type of knowledge of where our money's going. So second up is customized budget. So Dayrol allows you to create budgeting that's personalized to your lifestyle, your priorities, the things that are important and matter to you. That was one of the tricky parts about finding a system that worked for me. Everybody seemed to have systems that were designed specifically for a certain type of person, and I just didn't fit that mold. And I didn't have a husband. I had 1 child. I was single. I had 1 income. I was paid. None of it worked. Like, I didn't have a mortgage. I had rent at the time, and so I had to find the system that was that would allow me to be the most successful. So we don't give you, there are no kind of, here's what you have to have. You get to create it from scratch. We give you the tools to be successful in what you create, but in terms of like the categories and the subcategories and the things that make your life or your engine run, you get total, complete autonomy over what that experience looks like. So next up is expense tracking. Again, something I tried to make very, very simple. We simplified expense tracking where it provides you a clear overview of exactly where your money's going. If you take a look at like the Dayrol dashboard for all my beta users out there, it tells you what percentage of your income is going towards certain categories that you've set up. It tells you exactly the amount of money that has gone to that category based on your spending. It tells you everything you have done over the course of a year, a quarter, a month, a week, which is insane to think about, to have that level of visibility into your finances so that you can look at it and say things like, wow, I spent $300 this month on dining out, or wow, I had no idea I was spending this much money at Target on random stuff that I probably don't even need. Hey, but we love Target, don't we? I'm sorry, Target, excuse me. Number 4 is the bill management system, and this is probably the thing that naturally would set us apart from any other budgeting application or budgeting software. The ability to use Dayrol's intuitive management system for your bills. Like, if you are a person who's like, listen, I struggle with maintaining my bills, I struggle with knowing when they're coming due, like, there is a whole built-in calendar for you to put bills on, that is automated for you, that sends you notifications when things are due, that allows you to be aware and on top of the bills that are coming your way, which long term helps you avoid late payments and keeps you organized. I know I can't think of a single person within like my immediate friends circle that doesn't keep track of bills on a calendar. So why not do it in a user-friendly way that you can kind of keep in your pocket at all times, right? Why not receive the notifications that support you in being successful toward the goals that you have outlined? I think one of the main differences between the spreadsheet experience and Dayrol is automated. It's on the calendar, it's there until you delete it. There's no copying and pasting the same things over and over again. So again, the bill management system is probably one of my favorite things. We recently added the ability to go in and once you click to mark a bill as paid, like to be able to edit that amount. We got feedback about the fluctuation that we see in bills, and so to have the flexibility to not recreate it from scratch, but to just edit the amount. And so that's a new feature that's currently being tested in beta. Again, another thing that kind of sets Dayrol apart from some of the other applications that might exist in the ecosystem. So another thing that sets Dayrol apart is just the powerful insights. In general, I have not used a budgeting tool outside of Dayrol that allows you to see and understand your spending habits. So your patterns, the things that you spend more or less on over a extended period of time. For as much data as you enter into Dayrol, that's as much visibility that you will have into kind of your analysis. And I know that's a key part in making sure that you're making the most informed decisions about how you're spending your money. Like, where is it actually going, and what are the percentages? What are the things that are taking up my income? And so to be able to provide that level of visibility for users, we got really good feedback from folks about how they love the graphs, they love the visuals, they love so much of what they see inside of Dayrol. And so we're going to continue to build out that visual to support kind of the numbers, especially for all my folks who might not be mathers. We're going to do the math for you, and we're going to make sure that you have all of the things you need to be the most successful that you can. Last but not least, in terms of immediate features that I want to name, the collaboration piece. If you are married, if you are in a committed relationship, if you are a person who shares finances with some other human, there are not many tools out there that allow you to collaborate in meaningful ways, and Dayrol is designed for you to be able to do just that. So there's no need to have two separate accounts unless that's your job. Then hey, by all means, create two Dayrol accounts. But you share a household, or share expenses in any way, or provide expenses for a child, or whatever the case may be for your living situation or your uniqueness, you are 100% able to just share the account and have the same level of visibility into a shared experience. And so that was important to me, because I recognize that, like, in today's world, there are not many resources out there for people to share across the table and have the tools that they need to engage in, let's say, your Sunday budget meeting or your monthly budget meeting, or whatever, your works for your lifestyle. So, all right, I want to quickly touch on a couple roadmap items that are coming up. So in terms of roadmap, I can honestly and transparently say at this time, there is not a ton that is built into Dayrol that intuitively teaches you about financial literacy. However, I thought it was important for us to get the core fundamentals, the core logic down to the point where we could build on a solid foundation. And so what's next is the entire gamut of what is the focus on financial literacy. We want people to be able to go into the app and actually learn as they go. I recognize that some of our users are coming to us from different levels of experience. Some of them are coming to us from having budgeted for 30 years, while others are coming to us fresh out of college and have never created a budget a day in their lives. And so we want to be able to adequately support both of those groups. And in order to do that, I recognize there is a gap in the information that's presented within the app related to financial literacy. So that is something that is top of mind on the roadmap and something we're paying close attention to. Three other quick roadmap items I want to draw out for you. One is our digital cash envelopes. So I know you probably have seen the viral videos, the TikToks, the YouTubes, where people are stuffing their envelopes and using that as their system for managing their money. Again, That has never worked for me. For me, my life is set up in a quick, fast-paced manner by which like I'm going from work to like to I'm getting up, I'm getting kids ready for school, I'm going to work, I'm getting off, I'm cooking dinner, I'm picking up folks from school, I'm going to activity. I don't have the capacity or the bandwidth to travel to the bank, grab a certain number of dollars in these different amounts, and I just don't. That has not worked for me. And so I recognize and I've heard the feedback about how from folks who are like, that also just doesn't work for me either because of my lifestyle. And so we're building out an experience similar to cash envelopes, but naturally in a digital way. And so we're super excited about it. I've got initial concepts like wireframes drawn up, and the two contract developers that I kind of work with in partnership on this project, we've sat down and reviewed them, but I'm not building anything else. Like, I really want to engage you all. I really want to get your feedback. I really want you to be a part of this experience in a way that allows us to create something fantastic together. So, of course, I can ride off into the sunset and be the cowboy developer all day long and just develop, but I really, really, really want to create something that's meaningful and impactful for the folks that are using it. And so the digital cash envelopes are coming. I'm probably gonna host kind of a Zoom session where I introduce the concept to a number of our core users and just get some feedback. Like, create a space where you can ask questions, create a space where you can tell me all the ways in which I've gotten it wrong and how it could be better, because that is the only way that Dayrol will be great, and that's if we do it in partnership. So we got financial literacy, we got digital cash envelopes, digital savings challenges. So you've probably seen this too, where people are like, if you're in any way a part of the budget community, the debt freedom community, the financial literacy community, the financial independence community, like the FIRE community, any of these communities that are deeply rooted in across all of the many social media platforms, you've probably seen people like pasting posters on their wall and coloring in different levels of achievements across their savings challenges as well as their debt payoff challenges. And so we're creating a similar experience inside of Dayrol, but again, it's going to be digital, because I wouldn't be true to who I am if it weren't a techie experience for you. And so again, that's going to be an area where I'm hoping to get as much feedback from you all to help build out what it will become, these savings challenges, this debt payoff tracking experience. But I want to pause here, because and I probably should have led with like the larger vision of Dayrol. Yes, I want to make it accessible to all people. Yes, I want it to be this user-friendly experience. Yes, I want to empower people to regain control of their finances. But on a higher level of why Dayrol is on the trajectory that it is on, I actually want to create an experience for young people. So what does that mean, Temani? So I want to create an experience, and this is like vision talk, so this does not exist yet, but it will one day. I want to create an experience for kids as early as possibly like middle school to empower them with career agency based on facts. Like, what does any of that mean? I want them to be able to make choices on the lives that they desire to live, based on a set of facts. I want to create an experience that's kind of like you get to choose your career, and then you get to make a sequence of life decisions within the application that empowers you to say, oh, this is exactly what I want to do. Or if I make this decision in terms of my career, here's the thing here's the path that it leads me down, or here's what my life looks like from a financial standpoint. A lot of kids, especially who come from places where I come from, like, we don't get those experiences. We don't get to see like the different levels of the types of careers that you could potentially have, or the types of or we aren't able to necessarily engage in those conversations that lead us to making the most informed decisions all the time. And so that's like the larger vision. It's combining my education experience, my teaching experience, my background and where I come from, as well as like just the intuitive features of Dayrol that can stretch further into different areas of our existence. So, all right, we're hitting at about 20 minutes. So I want to pause here and give you 3 things that you could do to be a part of the journey to $1 million. One, If you have not done so already, please, please, please sign up for the beta experience. I love feedback. So to all the folks who are messaging me, emailing me, taking screenshots, whatever you're doing to send me feedback to help us be better, exist better, and go to production in the best way that we can, please, please, please continue to do that. I greatly appreciate it. I read it at all times. Whenever you send it, I immediately like read it and try to take some action on it to make sure that we're creating the best experience and we're providing like amazing customer or user support. So, two, sign up for the Dayrol community, recently created over in Facebook. So if you have not done so already, take a second and there's a link somewhere in my bio that has access to beta, that has access to the Dayrol community. Again, I really, really want to engage with my people about what are kind of our next steps that we can take to make Dayrol be the best that she can be. And then last but not least, third, subscribe to my YouTube channel. So my YouTube channel is going to be the place where I'm releasing content about Dayrol's new features and enhancements, content about financial literacy, like content about the journey to $1 million. One of the things that I might share on the YouTube channel, I have a weekly goal to onboard 10 people every single week to beta. And right now I'm trending at like 12 people a week. So that's, that is, we're probably up to maybe 197 users on iOS. I do not know the exact number on Android. Don't hit me, my Android people. So sorry. I'll find out. And my Samsung people. But it's growing, and we're just in beta, which is crazy. There was a day where I was like, if I could just get 10 people to be a part of the beta experience, and for like 4 months to give me like real feedback, just 10 people. And you know how many people came out on like week 1? 200 people across both platforms. Week 1, I was mind blown, and I'm forever grateful. And it's been an influx of people and humans and communication and feedback, and I am just ever grateful for it. So I'll always show gratitude for where we are right now, where you've been with me on this journey, and where we're gonna go. So I am super excited to continue sharing these numbers, as well as like just where the product is going, and some of the great things that are happening across the board. So without further ado, I think that might be all that I have for you all today. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you for day 3. Peace out, y'all. I did it.